Okay, I feel fucking vindicated now. That is what this album is about. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven in Stereo. 5 Seconds to Summer 5 is officially out. I was actually on vacation the weekend that it came out, so naturally I had to avoid it like the plague. Very difficult to do, especially when I've been anticipating an album like I have with this one, but nonetheless, I was able to do it, and we are here today to film this reaction. I have been looking forward to this album since the start of the rollout. Honestly, I feel like we've all been waiting for 5 Seconds to Summer 5 since like the third album. I think that seeing the evolution that they've been able to have and carry over throughout their music just means that I know that this is going to be just as strong. I've been very fortunate to have been able to go see them live recently on the tour, and I have to say, they are everything I ever dreamed of when it comes to a live performance. So I'm very fortunate that I got to hear some of the tracks from this live, as well as all of my favorites. And it was just amazing to see that who they are, like in studio and in interviews and all that stuff, that's the same thing that you get in that live performance. And I would argue that their music actually sounds even better when you hear it live. Before we get into today's video, I just want to plug my Patreon. I do full uncut album reactions over there. So on YouTube, this is going to be all chopped up because of getting blocked and copyright and things like that. But over on Patreon, you can listen to the whole thing without anything being cut out. So those are usually pretty fun. I just switched to subscription billing over there. So like if you join today, you won't get billed again until this day next month. So anyone who's already currently a patron, nothing changes. But for all new signups, that's how it's going to work moving forward, which I think it should have been that way all along, if we're being honest. I mean, it would suck to sign up on the 28th and then get billed again on the 1st. So Patreon was able to work that out for all new subscribers. So if you guys want to check that out, I have so much 5 Seconds of Summer content. I did reactions to How Did We End Up Here movie. I did the Carpool Karaoke. I've done the 10-year anniversary documentary. I honestly have so much content for this band, including some of the solo albums as album reactions. So you guys should definitely go check that out. I don't do ads, so that is what supports this channel, and it means the world to me. Before we get started, I just want to say there are 6 tracks that we're not doing, and that's only because I've already done reactions to them in a much bigger scale. So those videos ended up being longer. We really got a chance to dive into those tracks. That's Complete Mess, Easy for You to Say, Me, Myself, and I, Take My Hand, Older, and Blender. Obviously with a band like this that I love so much, I have been doing these songs as they come out. And so for that reason, I'll leave links to those tracks for the videos in the description, so you guys can check those out if you haven't seen them. But otherwise, this is going to be all the songs we haven't heard yet. So we're starting with Bad Omens, which I've heard a lot of people talking about this track, so I'm really looking forward to what people are getting out of this. Let's do it. Oh! Oh my god, I fucking love the songwriting structure right there. Luke, especially with the way the lines are delivered, anytime they have a moment to do that in a song, he always executes in such a beautiful way. Just listen to how that, like, okay, listen to how that changes up right here. Oh! Is that Ashton? I feel like Ashton is part of those harmonies right there. I love the power this song is already giving me. I just love when they utilize so many of the pieces of the group that make them so fucking talented. Like, you start layering in those vocal tone change-ups, the tempo change-ups. You've got Ashton coming in with these like fucking pacing drums so great. The harmonies come out. Come on. Nobody doing it like them. Fuck, there's just so much atmosphere in that. Yes. Oh my god. Okay. Fuck. Okay. So, oh, so many things to think about here. First and foremost, I love the use of the synthesizer. Over the last couple of albums, it's just been so cool to hear that. And obviously live, having Callum hitting those moments, doing that and working on bass. Like, come on, man. My man's doing everything in the best way. I love to hear, again, the structure of this track. I think that chorus is so well written, and I love that bridge, that sort of like chant that you would be performing live in the best way. All these harmonies coming out. The drums in this, Ashton really taking control of just pushing that song to the next level. There's something so beautiful, and I love the lyrical content in this. Basically just talking about, doesn't matter like how things seem. It doesn't matter if the truth is right in front of you, that things are rough, that things are not going great, that this is not a good thing for you to do. All signs point to run. There's red flags everywhere. Like, everything seems so bad. When you're in love, like, you don't care. Your mind moves those flags out of the way so you can see that person that you love. Despite the trouble that you're going through in that situation. And I love that even though that is a very real yet sad thing, it is something that we do. People often want to know, like, well, you know, you love this person so much, but they treated you like shit. Yeah, but like you didn't know them like I did. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't see how much I loved them, that I was willing to look past all that bad shit to be with that person. And then, you know, you learn about it later. And so there's sadness, but I love how just epic they can make that track sound. It's so fucking incredible. Okay, the next track is Carousel.
I built it from the ground up just to watch me burn it down.
Oh my god. So I had heard, I don't remember who said it, but someone talked about how Taylor Swift had kind of like inspired some of their songwriting. This sounds absolutely like something off of 1989 or some of the tracks on Reputation tour. Reputation, not the tour. Although that was there too.
Just to watch me burn it down.
Oh yeah.
I gotta keep the party going, ain't no fate. I'm feeling like a dreamer, don't you try to wake me now.
Oh, such heavy synthesizer too.
My life's just a carousel spinning around.
Oh!
I'd pay again, below is there in the back.
That very subtle backing vocal right there. I love that lyric right there. Always looking in, like, basically always looking towards the past. And when we're thinking about the idea of this being a carousel, you're allowing your life to kind of just run in this circle where, like, you start to get ahead only to cross your past again and again and again. So you get stuck in this motion of constantly spinning around and never taking that next move forward to allow you to kind of escape this carousel that you're on, this ride that you're living of past and present without embracing the future. This is a really tough thing to get yourself caught in because, well, then you basically define your entire life by what could have been or what was instead of what is. And that's a very unhealthy way of thinking. I have done a lot of therapy to learn that. I fucking love Ashton, man. Come on. Oh, fuck. Man, I'm so proud of them. I hear tracks like this and you think about the evolution of this band, and it's fucking amazing to me that they've been able to take the transition that they have and be able to evolve their music in a way that, if you told me on the first two albums that this was going to be the sound they would become, I could see it. Like, I could hear the talent there, but I couldn't imagine it really coming to life. And what they've been able to accomplish with their career is fucking incredible, and it should be a staple to show everybody that you're not stuck in any sort of box. You don't have to be what everybody thinks you should be. Sometimes it's okay to test the limits, test the waters, and put yourself out there in a way to make what you want to make. And they do just that. And yet they execute perfectly all the fucking time. It's incredible. Again, I love the lyrics to this. I just feel like thinking about that constant loop that you put yourself in, it's very hard to escape it. And so you end up feeling like you're going to be on this circle forever until you die of just fucking wishing that you were still in the past. And finally, as soon as you think you're around to it, it catches right back up to you. And there you are again. You're right back in those memories, and it's rough. This next track is called Haze. Oh! Ashton? Again? Or Callum? See, this is the part that becomes very challenging. Maybe in the first couple of albums, it would have been a little bit easier. But I think that at a moment like this, it becomes a little bit more challenging to figure out who is actually singing in these parts. That's why I love watching the live versions. But despite everything I know about this band, despite all the things I've seen, seeing them live, they're also fucking talented that it becomes a little bit more difficult. And I love that for them. I would rather not know and not being able to figure out who's singing at each part, but know just how much power they're bringing into a song than to not have the opportunities to even have this. So I'm fucking so stoked about this. It just changes the dynamics of the band. I want to take it back a little bit. Like, not to go on a rant. I'm not going to do it. I told myself I'm not going to rant during the songs because it sucks for people. But what I will say is, you know, as soon as you have a different vocal in a song, you completely change the way the band sounds. So imagine the fact that you're 5 Seconds of Summer and 4 people in your group are amazingly talented vocalists. The possibilities are endless. I'm pretty sure that's Ashton. Oh! Woo! Oh, listen to those bass riffs. Oh! Yes! Oh, I love how that just comes in. There's just so much 70s influence in that, and I think it just, it works so well with the synthesizers and the bass in that track. I just love that you've got this like cute little like chorus coming in, and then that exit chorus, just Loving You, fading out, reminding me of so many just like beautiful 70s tracks. There's also like a little bit of a disco influence kind of happening in that. And again, this takes me back to the fact that this band is so fucking diverse that there's like no genre they're not willing to try out. Michael Wants Another Slice, Pizza. I feel like there's so many things that this band is capable of doing, and the execution always ends up being so perfect. I want to say that Ashton was taking the lead on a lot of that. It's kind of hard to say because, again, we're at a point now where everyone is just... I feel like Luke is the one that I can he typically has that defining vocal. Like, even when he like switches it up, there's something like about the personality of his voice. Although, for all I know, that could have fucking been Luke the whole time too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just where they are. But I feel like he's got no matter what he does, you kind of know it's Luke. I don't know. I wasn't getting at that one. I really feel like that was Ashton. Anyways, I love the idea of this track too, because since we're talking so much about love in this album, This track is sort of that exploration of kind of like how life can start going so fast and these memories go literally so quick when you're in love. People say time flies when you're having fun and like all those things. And it ends up being true. You're in this haze, no pun intended, but you're in this haze of memories when you're in love with somebody, the pain that you feel when they're not around, all this like confusion, trying to understand like the relationship and where you are in it. And there's just something about spending those moments with people, especially people that you truly love, where it is sort of a roller coaster or a hell of a ride, embracing that love and the sadness when they're gone and the pain that you feel in your stomach when they're not around. There's so many pieces to love. And before you know it, I've almost been married 10 years and the shit flies by so fast that it really is in a haze. And I just love they were able to capture that in a song that had fucking 70s like pop disco influence. Come on. Okay, this next track is called You Don't Go to Parties. This song has to be about me because I sure as fuck don't and won't go to parties. Let's do it. Oh my god.
I'm still here in the darkness, back where we started. You made me a heartless monster. I'm caught up in distractions, fatal attractions. Starting to come under. My mouth always stay too late.
I've got the last 5 years running down my mouth, essentially trying, like going to this place, hoping to see this person, but this person grew up, got out of it, or was able to like stop doing these things, but you find yourself there almost looking for that person. And when you can't find them, you are drinking all those feelings away. You're trying to drink those memories away. And the sadness that you feel there, like at one point, like you turned me into this monster. Like I'm going to these parties. I'm trying to like be around you. And then I'm also like trying to search for you now that you're gone, but I haven't stopped going yet. And so I don't even like the person that I am right now, but I'm going and destroying myself in hopes to remove these memories. And that's fucking sad.
Looking for, 'cause you don't go to parties anymore. I got the last 5 years running down my mouth. Always stay too late. I should kick me out. Who I'm looking for.
Those fucking harmonies.
Don't go to parties anymore.
Oh! Oh! Let's fucking go!
5 a.m. clinging to my
So take the meaning that I had about this song originally, but I also see something different here. I actually see this as being a introspective, reflective song. And I think that I hope that that's what it's about. The last 5 years running down my mouth, makes me think that in this moment, you are going to these parties and drinking and trying to have these moments, have everybody you ever knew, have all your friends, have all these moments, but realizing that like you're getting drunk, trash, wasted or whatever. Who are you going there to find? Because you, the person, you don't go to parties anymore. Like you've already done all this. You've searched through this. You've had these life experiences. You've gotten toast, wasted, become a monster, all these things, and you've battled and tried to overcome it. So then why are you showing up or throwing these parties and getting drunk, hammered, wasted, throwing up everywhere, all these things to try to find the person that you are, because you're not going to be there. Like he says, I don't know who I'm looking for because you don't go to parties anymore. Meaning me, I don't go to these anymore. What the fuck am I doing here? And I feel like, this is a really great example. One, yes, it could be about relationships because it's the same thing. Some people could go and search for these people. But the other part of it is, I feel like when you're battling with sobriety, when you're battling with alcoholism and drug abuse and things like that, you learn to be a different way because it's the only thing you can do. Like you know how you are when you're on these things. And so that part of you always exists, but you have to find a different path, right, to go down in order to be able to control that. And so while you redefine yourself, you find yourself back in these situations at your own house with all your friends, all these people everywhere looking for yourself, but you're not going to find yourself because this is not who you are. You have changed that path. You have walked a different line. And so while you're getting trashed, just remember you're not going to find yourself. That's so beautiful, in my opinion. I know that it's a very difficult subject to talk about if the idea is that that's what this song is about. It's difficult because a lot of people struggle with these things, but it's also so fucking real that I think it just hits on a different level. I also love the vocals here. I know we had a lot of Ashton in that. I think I heard Michael in those first few seconds, Luke obviously coming in, Callum with those harmonies. There's just so many pieces. Again, we're at the complexity level of 5 Seconds of Summer where I'm truly challenged now to figure out the vocals. And I love that for me. I want that challenge in my life. This next track is called Carousel. Man, I love the fucking double vocals there. Oh! It's been a while since you and I've been where we started. Yes! Let it fade away. It used to be easy. Now you can't even look me in the eye. Oh! The visceral feeling that I can never leave behind. Oh! This is gonna be a single before this album cycle is over. I can fucking hear it. Okay, so again, we're talking about You Don't Go to Parties. Obviously, Blender. Like, I know what that track is about. There's a lot of things it can be about. Caramel kind of reminds me of the color of liquor, color of alcohol. I feel like we're right back into this talking about how life used to be so easy, but you bring that caramel in and suddenly I'm living in the past again. I'm starting to feel those emotions coming up. All of these things that are kind of brought up by this thing that, once might have brought joy in my life and now is causing pain and misery and suffering. So even if it's possible that that is not what this track is about, I am getting a pretty big sense of that kind of moment coming to life, like that struggle with alcoholism, that struggle with substance abuse. There's pieces of that are coming out in these tracks. And I'm sure by the end of the song, we'll probably know. I kiss you goodnight. Oh! Woo! Oh! God damn! Callum! Base my face off, daddy. Fuck. I'm gonna stick with what I think that song is about right there because it kind of makes sense with where it's at with You Don't Go to Parties, Blender, even though there's other pieces that Blender could be about. Now that I'm kind of hearing it with this structure, You Don't Go to Parties, Blender, and Caramel all kind of give me that sort of struggle with alcoholism and drinking your feelings and just how destructive that can end up being. And I feel like the maturity of this album is really showing in the lyricism. I feel like Youngblood really had a very mature sound to it. Obviously, Calm did as well. You could hear kind of like as they progressed in life, right? Like as they sort of like continued to get older and we're getting older with them, being able to hear kind of like, their embrace of certain things and then their understanding of certain things as they're getting older. I love that because it's such a real narrative. That's just what it's like getting older. Okay, this next track is called Best Friends. Fuck yeah. Somebody never filter what to say, and I can feel it coming like a planet to the day. Silver linings, golden shining, perfect Yes.
Memories I hold to keep.
Narrative, there's beauty and mistakes. It's time to love somebody who won't try to change your way.
Yes.
Remember waiting on the calm before the storm. Back when we were on the other side of 24.
Oh.
Take me to the place where everybody knows our names. It's better late than never, baby. I don't wanna wait for.
I fucking love, first off, I love Michael. Come on. Oh my God. Like, right? Like, fuck. Okay. I love this track because, again, when I'm talking about that maturity in the songwriting, realizing just how important the relationship that this band has together, it's so, like, it's so precious because they've been a band for so long at this point. They've experienced so many things together, trials, tribulations, growth, dealing with your, friends as they go through, like, love loss and death, and there's so many things that you experience with these people. At the same time, I feel like there's also sort of an ode to the fans as well, because even when you hear Michael right there, take me to a place where everyone knows our names. So, like, we're friends, we're in this together, we're gonna tell each other like it is, we're gonna be the reality in each other's lives that's gonna help us stay grounded, because they were so young, getting so much popularity, so much fame. That's a lot that can get to you. But as long as you have those same people around you, they bring you back to that feeling of home and that humble side. But at the same time, the ode to the fans, knowing that everyone in this crowd is also our best friends. They are a part of this. They are what keeps this alive. So while the people very close to me keep me grounded, the people out here make me realize how important everything that we're doing is. And that relationship is just, it's undeniable.
Gotta say, I got the best friends in this place, and I'm holding on. Silver linings, golden shining, perfect timing now. Memories keep safe, and I live with that look on your face. I got the best friends in this place, and
Oh! Letting that note just fucking echo into the atmosphere right there to just show the power of those lyrics. It's so important to have those people close to you and to hold on to those people so close to you, especially all the things that they've gone through together. And having that ode to the fans, I think, is really cool too, because obviously they have a very, like, close relationship with them, but they also know that, like, we fucking care a lot about them. So being a part of that, being able to have that closeness even at these distances because of fucking the reach between the fan and the artist sometimes, they are able to make it feel like we are actually close. Michael doing live streams and them responding on Twitter and all those things, and making sure that, like, hey, we may not be able to talk to all of y'all, but, like, this relationship is there and it matters to us. It's beautiful. Okay, this next track is called Bleach.
be the only living space in your head.
God damn.
And when you're filling up your lungs, mine's the only name that's under your breath. But enough to a gunfight, but the hurting is all mine. When the feeling is at tight, I know it takes time to let go, but I can't take it no more. Can I make up for lost time? If there's bleach in the hallways, I can start over. Bleach in my head just to figure it out. Living without you, spinning down that train. I feel you underneath my tongue, next to every word that I should have said.
Oh,
No matter how far we seem to catch up again.
Brought enough to a gunfight, but the hurting is all mine. When the feeling is at tight.
oh my
I
God.
know it takes time to let go, but I can't take it no more. Can I make up for lost time?
God fucking, come on.
If there's bleach in the hallways, I can start over. Bleach in my head just to get away and wash it. Spinning down the drain. It's so hard to watch everything
The lyrics to that are so fucking perfect. The idea being, if I was able to find Bleach and remove all the things that happened so that it was this fresh start, we would be able to fix this. We'd be able to be together. We'd be able to share this life. But unfortunately, just like he says there, like, it's so hard to watch everything that I want spinning down the drain. Like, I'm putting all this Bleach, but then every memory of us together is having to go away, and I'm watching it just disappear, not knowing if me even cleaning the slate is going to give me an opportunity to be with you. So I would be willing to sit here and suffer while all the memories of us go down the drain if it means that we get a fresh start. And I think that's something that I think we try to do sometimes, is all the mistakes get made, just like we were talking about in Bad Omens. You love somebody and you see past all those things. And that goes for both people. And it gets to a point where you kind of like have this collection of baggage. Like, the relationship is checking bags on this flight, and you have to realize that that's just what it is. It's why they say, like, in a lot of relationships, once the relationship has, like, once you've broken up or something, it's very hard to keep that relationship going after that if you try again. Not to say that it's impossible, but it is very hard. And the reason being is that those checked bags, they arrived. They arrived in the carousel, and you got to pick them up. In this, we're kind of hoping that they didn't arrive. They were put on the wrong flight and fell off somewhere, and now they're lost luggage, and you get to have this fresh start where you're like, ooh, I don't have anything. We can try this again. It just doesn't work that way. So the reality is, while you're bleaching, your hair and watching it all wash away, all you're doing is washing the memories that you did have go, because it's not going to happen. And it's really fucking sad. Okay, this next track is called Redline. Oh my God. Oh my God. So as somebody who, and I'm just going to make an assumption that, this is taking place in Chicago, because I used to live off the Redline, and I think that I feel a couple of things with the lyrics here. So if I'm thinking about some of the tracks being a little bit more focused on alcoholism, I'm pretty sure that the lyric was just another vessel in a winter coat. Now, I don't know if that's what the lyric really was. I try not to pull up the lyrics when I listen to things the first time, but it makes me think of talking about burning. You're burning that midnight oil. You are out in the dark, at bars, kind of like finding yourself, even though you're spending so much time alone. You're getting drunk. You're losing those pieces of you. And so you're hitting up the red line as the night starts to fade and you're going back into day, and you're just this vessel of these emotions and alcohol and all these things in this winter coat as you just go off back into your life. And just how painful that experience is, saying like, we were no good for each other. Now I'm left in the dark, like all of the pain that kind of comes with that. And again, I don't know that that is what this song is about, but because some of these other songs are definitely leaning to that, I see that here on Redline, especially knowing that a city like Chicago, definitely a lot of bar culture, a lot of alcohol there. And that does seem to play a big role in a lot of that city, to be honest. I mean, that's just Midwest in general. But I also see this as being almost a story of losing a relationship and sort of the things that you'll go through when that is over, especially if it's ended and you're feeling so empty that you don't have that around anymore. And so those things ended because you did not have that great relationship. And so you still find yourself searching for yourself in this caramel flavor, searching for yourself and hoping to find some sense of relief or happiness, but you end up, again, just being a vessel in a winter coat on the Red Line. And I don't know if you've ever taken the Red Line at the right time in Chicago, but motherfucker, when you are on that train, you know that those bars just closed up and it is a zombie paradise in there. And there's a lot of pain that comes with that. And I feel like because of some of those other tracks, I'd be pretty confident to think that that is at least part of the writing for this track. Just incredible to hear. And even though there's so much pain in these lyrics, I just love that they're able to have that pain, but still like deliver these almost like upbeat moments. Because I think if we're able to address the problems that we've had, the struggles that we've been dealing with, when we can address those things, we come out better on the other side. Pretty incredible. Okay, this next track is called Mood Swings.
Without you, I don't even know myself.
Know myself.
Sunshine, the sky is falling, and I just wonder if I can push you away. Without, if I can push you away. Without you, I know my mood's been swinging all day.
Hey!
Hoping nice words keep getting in the way. Nothing I say ever coming out straight. When I pull through, can feel the same. I know my mood's been swinging all day. Hoping nice words keep getting in the way. Nothing I say ever coming out straight. When I pull through, can feel the same. Without you, I don't even know myself. Through bloodshot eyes, the sky is falling. It kills me when I try to push you away. Without you.
Okay, part of me really fucking regrets that I heard anything that remotely resembled struggling with alcoholism, because my fucking ADHD brain is hyper focused on hearing that in the lyrics. So I apologize if I'm so fucking wrong. But every one of these tracks feels like there's two meanings. Like at first, yeah, on face value, this definitely sounds like you're struggling with this piece of a moment with a relationship. And like, because those moods swing, you lose clarity when you're trying to emphasize how you feel and tell someone how you feel. And when you're having this internal battle, one moment you're really happy, the next moment you're fucking miserable. And so when you say something and you want to be clear with that person, it's just whatever emotion is sitting there behind you. And I think that even at that value, that's a great song. But if I go back into what I feel like a lot of these tracks are about, it is what it is. Let's just be real. I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, I'm going to do it. Okay, it's fine. I can handle myself. Okay, no, I can't. Fuck this. Who am I? I need to get rid of this stuff. I'm going to push it away. No, I can handle it. We can have one more drink. It's not a big deal. There's no clarity in that conversation that you're having with yourself when you're struggling with something like this. But you do realize that your life would be so much better if it was gone. But the pain and anguish that it takes to push those things away, those substances or emotions or any of those things, pushing those away is such a physical pain. It is so much stress that is coming to your body, and our minds are so strong, and they are way stronger than we are sometimes. And sometimes if it's pointed towards the wrong direction, we're fucked. And so, like he says, I just want to fucking push you away. Like, I wish I could just get rid of this. Again, hyper-focused brain. Probably not good that I heard one song that mentioned the possibility of alcohol, but let's just be real here. A lot of this can deal with that. And I know that That is something that they've talked about in the past, and I could see that happening all over this record already. But at the same time, I'll take it at relationship value too. That works just as well. But the best thing about music is that it's subjective and open to our own interpretations, and I'm hearing that. It is what it is. You know what? Genius songwriting then. I can get so many meanings out of these, and I think that's really important as well. So this track is called Flatline. Ashton!
I can't even look at you. I die all day and
every day.
Woo!
Someone just like you, no one else. Lights will guide you, so run like hell. Ooh, and every night just to miss you. Ooh, I'm falling for the first time. Heart is gonna flat.
God damn, their songwriting is fucking incredible. This song is so fucking good. Like, the structure is incredible. And Callum is just fucking slamming that bass. Daddy, slam me. What the fuck?
Someone just like you, no one else. Lights will guide you, so run like hell. Ooh, I'm falling for the first time. Now I can't even look at you.
Woo! The songwriting of this band is just so next level. Like, having this many talented people that also contribute so much to songwriting, that are able to put together a piece of music like this, is incredible. Like, listen to the different sounds we've heard throughout this album. It's weird because I know that I'm going to talk about it because I'm talking about this album, right? So like, people that haven't listened to this or people that want my take on it, I like to mention those things. But like, if we weren't sitting here talking about this album, they work the diversity into their music so well that it doesn't even stand out, because it just sounds so normal for them to switch things up. But I've loved the 60s and 70s influence I've heard throughout this album so far. I think that the ability to embrace the topics they want to write about, mixed with switching up eras of music, but bringing it in and making it sound so 5 Seconds of Summer, it gives it the most natural feeling here. There's a couple takes I have on the lyrics, and again, woo! For me, when it's first time listens, I just like to analyze things based on how I hear it. I think of a couple things here. One, I think about the idea of having like this love in your life, and once you lose it, you kind of feel like your means to exist becomes a lot harder because you're flatlining, because your life support is now not with you anymore. That's one way I look at this. Two, I look at the idea that you found something so amazing that you just assume you're dead at that point, because like you're gonna flatline because you're never gonna find anything as perfect as what you have just discovered. Like staring into the sun and having it burned into your mind. That is what this person is like to you. Of course, obviously, let's be real here. I'm going to bring up substances because you can look at it here too. Falling in love with you for the first time, or like discovering you for the first time, my heart is going to flatline, aka this could be so dangerous for me, it could possibly kill me. And now that I understand that, I can't even look at you. Like, going from that person to who I am now. And part of it makes me think of the fact that in that first verse, you know, you wouldn't even know who I was last year. I went through all of these things to come out on the other end. And I know that change can happen as long as you like commit yourself to doing it, being able to escape that reality and escape those problems. And I just love that there's so many interpretations to these songs. This song is executed so well that it's probably my favorite track on here so far. So I've been trying not to put a heart on it because I'm trying to put hearts on the ones that we've already done. But just know Flatline is like my fucking shit. Like, that song needs like 17 more listens for me, like in the next 30 minutes, so that I can like really embrace some of the subtleties in that track. Okay, this next song is called Emotions.
Talk about it, I don't wanna talk about it. Got too many things on my mind.
Oh, Michael, you fucker. I love you.
Think about it, I don't wanna think about it. Maybe that's why I'm always high. Telling me 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more things to change.
Oh,
But
fuck.
till that day, don't mind me. I'm just feeling kinda broken.
Oh!
Kinda broken. Oceans.
Now, this is such a Michael song. I think about Jet Black Heart, like literally my favorite 5 Seconds of Summer song. And I think about my introduction to that song and really my true introduction to Michael Clifford at that time. And his voice matches a style that I'm so nostalgic for because I grew up listening to it. But at the same time, it's embraced in such a beautiful way because you know it's authentic. So like when he sings that way and he writes the way he does, everything is so authentic that it's not just that he's playing a part of some like pop punk, emo, alternative kind of thing. It's just like something that he's really into. And I hear this song and there's so much going on here because I don't know if he's going to be talking about current day or when he was younger, but dealing with those emotions where everyone around you is always pushing you to change. Our parents, no matter how much they love us, not understanding the things that we're into or the things that we're doing and not understanding the struggles that are going on while we're having our first heartbreaks and we're dealing with the stress of losing friends or losing these things that are going on in our life and that depression and that anxiety, especially the ADHD and going untreated my entire life. You're this ball of emotions. And while I didn't do it, I do hear what he's saying. Like, this is why I'm always high. I'm just trying to numb all the emotions that are here because I can't keep just like hearing how much I fucking suck at everything and how I need to change everything that I am. So I'm just going to get high and pretend like none of this exists.
I don't wanna cry about it, but I still can't help it sometimes.
Fuck.
Fight about it, I don't wanna fight about it. I'm already screaming inside.
Oh my God. He sounds fucking amazing in
Always
this.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Needed a little space, I'm just needing a little time. Don't mind me, I'm just feeling kinda broken. So I'll be here with my emotions. I'm doing my best and I guess that's the best I can do. Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? I'm doing my best and I guess
Wait, was that Callum? Are we?
needed a little time. Don't mind me, I'm just feeling kinda broken. Kinda broken. If you need me, I'll be here with my emotions.
My emotions. Ah!
You should know I feel some type of way. I don't even know why. I'm just needing a little. So I'll be here with my emotions.
Michael fucking Clifford. I don't know if Callum was, I think Callum was doing that second vocal just in that part, adding a little bit to the harmony. I could be wrong. It's just, you could tell it was like mixed in a way that it felt like a different vocal. But I have to say, I love when Michael has a chance to have a moment like this, a track like this, because he's so well. I feel like while everybody brings something to the table, obviously in this band, it's why they're so fucking talented. I feel like when I think about that emotional feeling of that like punk rock emotion, which in my opinion can be the most fucking intense emotion because you're just the reality of just wearing it all on your sleeve. I immediately think Michael, and I immediately think of Jet Blackheart, and I immediately think of being able to channel in the idea that I feel like a lot of us end up in the alternative spaces when it comes to music because of feeling broken, because of dealing with that mental health and all of those things. We find a music that lets us be ourselves and find the escape in the aggression of being able to bring out those emotions. And he does it so well. And so hearing this song, I know that so many of us have either like been in a space that we just like vibe with this so well, or we're currently in that space. And that's the other thing I want to bring up is that when I was younger and I wasn't being treated for any of the issues that I am treated for now, and I'm feeling fucking amazing, but there was a time when it was really difficult, and I also didn't really have friends, and I didn't really have anybody to talk to about it because you just didn't really talk about those things back then. Every time you fucking brought it up, stop being a pussy, stop being a bitch, just shut up, just deal with it. Well, that doesn't work. And I love the idea that, you know, this band has such a big following, and to have them be so open about the struggles of life, because there are a lot, regardless of how poor, how rich, any of those things. Like, struggle is subjective and it's all relative to what you're dealing with at that time. And to have somebody like Michael have a song like this that so many people are going to relate to, I feel like that's really important. It kind of breaks that boundary down of like the entry of being able to admit that things are struggling, and sometimes you just need to be alone for a little bit and work through them. Okay, this next track is Bloodhound.
A million nights under the thumb.
That fucking bass is so good.
My life has just begun and I wanna feel it all. I wanna feel it all. Bloodhound, I'm picking up the vibes alright.
Oh my god.
Dumb enough to drown it out. No, I can't let it go. Bloodhound, go home like it's gonna lose it all. Like it's gonna lose it all.
Oh, Michael.
It took a while for me to see. Take off.
Oh.
We keep on it till when the room is on fire. Spend all our money on it. Bloodhound, I'm living in the violent sounds. I'm kicking with the friends I found. Oh, I can't let it go.
God damn. Do I have... Man, I feel like I'm gonna be the fucking stereotypical straight edge kid who just thinks that all these songs are like about their struggle with the fact that they party. But that's what I feel about this song. We're dancing while the room's on fire. I'm dumb enough to drown it out. AKA, I'm dumb enough to take all these emotions that are going on around and drown them out with alcohol, so that even though everything is being destroyed around me, I find myself just dancing because I've numbed myself to these things that are going around. I don't want to be that person, but like, it's kind of hard not to. I really do feel like that is a huge theme about this, and I'm honestly fucking proud of them for that. I think there's something so powerful about singing about those struggles, because I feel like oftentimes in more popular music, when we do sing about the struggle of alcoholism, substance abuse, partying, it's always in the idea of it being this wonderful, amazing thing, this high, this fucking incredible feeling. But like, that is true for a lot of people, but that's not true for everybody. And to hear them sing about these things in a way that is so meaningful and real for the struggles that they've had in their lives, I think is really impactful for a lot of people to hear that. While at the same time, knowing that there's a lot of struggles, and, you know, even people that we love, even the most successful people, even all these like talented people, they also struggle with these things too. And to hear, the reality of these lyrics, they're extremely hard hitting. And I think there's a lot of meaning that I can't wait to dive into even further as I listen to this album over and over again now that it's out. Yeah, I just love how this song sounds. I think that it is put together so incredibly. The bass riffs in this are incredible. The chorus is absolutely amazing. I love the kind of like shouted backing vocals. All of those things really add up to an amazing piece of music, which is what I feel about this album anyways. I feel like this is definitely the most mature I've heard them when it comes to writing. Like, there's just this is next level. This is just fucking next level. I told you this was going to happen too, by the way. If we recall, everybody was freaking out that Ashton put his own album out. Everybody's freaking out when Luke put his own album out. But we got to be real here. Them being able to go out and explore personally and then come back and be able to write with the rest of the band, that is so important. It's why this album sounds so different. So we are on the last track. It's called Tears. Tears! It's got exclamation point. Okay, let's do it.
I'm a fortunate one. Push my luck when I need it. Sad, but what can I do? Burn the world to start over. Blacking out in my room. Wake me up when it's over. I'll feel. I don't need a reason to get high tonight. High tonight. I just wanna feel alive. Climb
Okay, I feel fucking vindicated now. That is what this album is about. I can't say that every track is, but if I'm being honest, I actually do believe that every one of these songs is about this. I have fucking goosebumps right now. I feel so vindicated. Oh my God. This album is about escaping the sadness and escaping the emotions that you have, being overwhelmed by this like haze of depression and struggle in life, and finding a way to disappear in substances, in alcohol, in drugs, whatever you can do to numb the pain. At one point, the first line of the song is, there's a black hole in the sun and I feel it caving in. Like, if you were to lift up, let's see, you got the sun up there, right? And you lifted up a glass, right? You'd have this hole in the sun, and that all of that you see at that moment is coming in on you. And it's like washing away that pain. I'm fucking so proud of them. Like, even if I'm completely batshit gone wrong, none of this shit is real, I fucking feel it right now.
So sing deeper, deeper. I'll feel better when I let myself see clearer, clearer. Crying eyes. I don't need a reason to get high tonight, high tonight. I just wanna feel alive.
Oh man.
Crying eyes.
Fuck.
Diamond tears, I wanna see the other side, other side. I just wanna feel alive. Hitting the ground, hitting the ground, hitting the ground, hitting the ground. Pulling me down, pulling me down, pulling me down, pulling me down. Hitting the ground, hitting the ground, hitting the ground, hitting the ground. Pulling me down, pulling me down, pulling me down, pulling me down. Just wanna feel alive. Crying eyes, crying eyes. Diamond tears, I wanna see the other side, other side. I just wanna feel alive. Hitting the ground, hitting the ground, hitting the ground.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm at a loss. I'm at a fucking loss in this album. Oh my God. Like, there's so many. Fuck. Okay. I'm going to do my best here. Short and sweet. I feel like, start to finish, this album is about masking your emotions and searching for things to escape them instead of embracing them, because the reality is sometimes embracing the pain that we feel is fucking harder than just allowing yourself to fade away. All throughout this album, I felt bad that I thought that every fucking song, for the most part, was somehow related to like substance abuse and alcoholism and really just escapism in general. But there were too many pieces of this album for it to not be that. I immediately think of Redline, just another vessel in a winter coat. Like, that right there, pretty much all I really needed. Well, in Carousel, I mean, it's everything, but that line right there, like, really drove it home. This song pretty much seals that. The pain that we are feeling, tears hitting the ground. I am alone. I'm in this darkness. I'm alone. I am dealing with this pain, this sadness, this struggle, and you can't see what I'm seeing, and you've never felt what I've felt. And I'm utilizing the fact that I don't need an excuse to get high tonight. I don't need a reason to fall into these substances because I just want to feel alive. I feel so fucking sad that I will destroy myself in the means to escape the feeling that I feel now. I know that so many people out there, myself included, fuck, I don't have substance abuse problems. I'm very thankful. I never started because I would never stop. And I know that because I got a large history of it in my family. But that escapism can be in other forms as well. Pick it. I mean, there's so many like bad habits that we get into that we utilize because it's easier to just do those things and act on those things than it is to embrace how we actually feel. And the important thing to get out of this album is that escapism didn't help them. Starting from Complete Mess, like when I first heard Complete Mess, I never would have thought that is most likely what this song was about and what this album was going to be about. But now that I think about all the songs I've listened to, there's no reason why every one of these songs is not about this struggle and where we end up in tears, which is just embracing the fact that I would rather just get fucked up than to have to feel these tears anymore. I just want to feel alive. I just want to feel like a fucking human. Like, I'm struggling so much. And this is a really important time to, like, just no plug, no sponsorships. I don't do that shit anyways. But like, if you're struggling, fucking call somebody, get help, ask. I fucking put myself at the brink of so many terrible things in my life because I was too afraid to admit that I was not okay. When I was growing up, it seemed a lot easier to just hide it because I was sick of getting bullied and sick of being called a pussy because I had feelings and sick of those things. And yeah, maybe the reason I am the way I am now is because I had to fucking toughen up really young and just hide everything. And I'm very fortunate that I didn't go down the hole of trying to mask it with substance, but I'm so appreciative that a band like this writes an album like this that is so powerful and meaningful, and it just takes me to a place of appreciation for them. But if you're struggling, reach out, say something, tell a loved one, tell your parents, tell your friends, and if they write it off as, oh, you'll be fine, tell someone else, and tell until you get what you need. Talk. Like, I just like, I can't put into importance how important it is. And I can tell you that as somebody who is 31 years old, I fucking hated my existence until I was 29. Fuck. I fucking hated it. I hated it. But I don't now. And I feel fucking horrible for the person that was there. Like, I feel sadness for myself at all those ages and all the bullshit because I was too afraid to fucking admit that there was weakness. But like, the strongest fucking thing you can do is tell people that you're not okay, and it's so hard to get there. And so I will sit here right now and tell you, fuck every single person in the world that ever tries to tell you that how you feel is not valid or real. You deserve help. You deserve to live a fucking good life, and you deserve to be happy. Everyone deserves to be happy. You're no different. And in talking about this album, hearing their struggles and how they were using escapism this whole time, because at the end of the day, it's just fucking tears if they don't. I don't want it to be like that for you. I don't want that to be your life, anybody's life. And if you take the meaning of these songs, like, they didn't want that to be their life either. You do not want to be another vessel in a winter coat. I'm telling you, like, fuck, please do it. If you don't do it for anybody else, do it for me. Like, if you don't want to go get help and seek those things for any other purpose, do it for me. I would love that favor from you, because I want you to be happy. This is too much. This is too much. Fucking 5 seconds of summer, you goddamn. Okay. Having said that, this is the most mature piece of music that they've ever put out. This tops everything that they've ever done, because I feel like the concept of this album, the mature lyricism that is written here, the beautiful interpretations of these various eras of music as we're going through this, hearing all of them so vocally beautiful in this means so much. This is the best album that they have. Prior to that, because of Sounds Good, Feels Good, and the songwriting, as far as the musical style of that album, that's always been my favorite. I don't care about any of the other albums as much as I care about this one. And this is only my first listen, and I think that there is something so powerful here. And even if it doesn't become your favorite album for the sounds and all of those things, I hope that this becomes a very powerful tool for you in your life. I'm so fucking proud of them. I'm literally speechless. Like, I got nothing else to say. We don't need to talk about any of the other pieces of this, because the reality is this album is fucking important. It's fucking important. It's fucking real. And a lot of people need it, unfortunately, but I'm glad that they now have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I apologize for getting a little bit fucking real here at the end, but tears breaks me because it just makes every other song make so much sense. And now I'm just looking at this fucking track list and just so much pain here. so much, and we didn't even really get like a fucking resolve, and that also hurts. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you get something out of this. I hope if there was something that maybe you weren't understanding, maybe I helped clear it up a little bit. If you want to check out the full uncut album reaction, it'll be over on Patreon. Of course, you guys already know that. Ton of content for this band over on Patreon as well. That's the only way this channel is supported. So if you want to do that, that's cool. I appreciate it. Please let me know in the comment section your take on this album, because once I caught onto the idea of it being substances, I was sort of really trying to like talk myself out of that, because it seemed like I became too hyper focused. But the reality is every one of these fucking songs are real. It's real. So I love you guys, and fuck. I'm gonna turn this off and just fucking deal with myself now, because they've made me a complete mess. I'll see you guys in the next one. Seriously, if you need help, please get it. Please.